All right. Well, the reason why I brought up
Interesting answer.
well, I'm just asking. I mean, I know you were a commentator slash wrestler. I just didn't know if there was, you had some feuds, Bret Hart, Jake the Snake Roberts, throughout the years. I didn't know if there was something else that was talked about, discussed between you and someone else that never took place, especially in the Attitude Era or even post Attitude Era. No.
Nope.
Nope.
Can't think of it.
All right, so let's get into Andre the Giant. And the reason why I brought up, you not being the party guy is because Andre was known not only for being a spectacle in the ring, but also a guy that could, put down bottles of wine and gallons of beer and be able to lift cars and all these feats of strength when it comes to eating and drinking. Do you have any, before we talk about your matches with Andre, did you ever partake in any out of the ring events with Andre the Giant? Like going to dinner or just hanging out with him at all?
No, only the only dealings I had with Andre were at the shows, and of course you're right. Everybody did talk about that, but I think that was I think that was really kind of blown out of proportion as far as back in the 70s. The guys didn't like really go out and party after shows and things like that. Like now, later on in the business, when everybody flew to all of the events, well then you stayed over and you got you had a hotel and you had a flight back to wherever you were going the next day. But back in the 70s, that didn't happen. Guys didn't fly anywhere really. All the trips were by car. And so because everything was in a territory and they were out, that was the whole idea of it. You drove to a different town every single night, but they just, he was just such a great guy to be around. So funny. And, you don't think about that when you see the guy, but he had a great sense of humor, as I guess, he would have to develop a great sense of humor over the years being as big as Andre the Giant was and everything. But he was just a cool guy. Loved to play cards. I never forget, you'd see him and Arnie Skoland up in, up in New York playing cards all the time. And just, I don't know, just a cool guy.
It's amazing when you hear all the stories. Tim White, a referee with WWE for so many years, he tells all these stories about, Andre or, traveling with him and being kind of like his handler. There's all these different unique stories. But with you, Jerry, you've actually wrestled Andre the Giant. Just obviously, he's a hard guy to move, a hard guy to I'm sure to wrestle with. I mean, what's the mindset going into like a match, or what you're going to do with him when you're wrestling a guy that's, twice your size?
Well, because that's why I say he was such a cool guy, and the fact that you could do anything with him. He could work in the ring, and believe me, it was all up to Andre, and it was whether he liked you or not, or how he wanted to work with you. That was one of the, like I said with Elvis, we would have done anything. We would have done anything he wanted to. Well, when you're in a match with Andre, you do anything he wants to do, because that's the way the match. You couldn't go into business for yourself with Andre because he just was. He was a real legit giant. But I was fortunate in the fact that I felt like, and he always worked with me like he liked me, and so he would just do anything, sell like crazy, get him off his feet. He was easy to work with, actually, because there were just the typical things that you could do with the guy that big. Was everything that he did was just impressive because he was so big.
Yeah, and you see all the classic matches he had over the years, and especially with WWE, being involved, WrestleMania 3 with Hulk Hogan, the body slam heard around the world. But that wasn't the first time Andre the Giant was body slammed, though.
And speaking of that was that was just in the news because I guess they tried to blow up the Pontiac Silverdome where that match took place, and with all the explosives and everything they set off, the building still didn't fall. And then of course I saw a tweet from Hulk Hogan where he said, "Hey brother, if if me body slamming Andre the Giant didn't knock that building down, nothing will."